Hi everyone, my name is Yats, and I'm happy to tell you that there's finally a new Touhou coming up. Touhou 15.5 Antinomy of Common Flowers has been announced. It will be a fighting game developed by Twilight Frontier that will reuse sprites from Hopeless Masquerade and Urban Legend in Limbo. I would like to give you guys an overview of what we already know about Touhou 15.5 regarding the story and gameplay. As of now, there's not too much information yet, and as I'm speaking, people are finding more and more info. So in case I say something that turns out to be wrong, I will annotate it. Feel free to tell me in the comments if I am incorrect about something. I will list most of my sources in the description or mention them in my video. So first, I want to look at what we already know about the story. Now, as most of you know, a few days ago the PS4 version of Touhou 14.5 got released, which featured an extra stage where Raisin's story gets told regarding the Urban Legend incident. Now, what I find most noticeable is what happens after the Miko fight. I have looked up some translations, and most of the story is that Reimu, Byakuran and Miko were investigating the occult balls again, as the Urban Legends are still around. At the beginning of the final stage, Raisin thinks about what Miko told her after their fight. Most of my interest went towards this bit that Raisin said during the beginning of the final stage. An incident is starting to occur, where people's minds are taken over, or they lose control of their body, or so on. After this, Reimu shows up, who is quite confused on why she's suddenly outside. And a bit later she kind of loses control over her body, and then she gets physically replaced by Moko. Then Raisin and Moko get into a small talk, and during this talk, Moko gets progressively more frustrated and distrustful of Raisin to the point where she attacks her. Now, I have not been able to find anything about Raisin's ending yet, which might also have some more important information. There's a very high chance that this story links in with the new incident that is going to happen in Touhou 15.5, as the webpage of the game immediately mentions a position where someone is completely taken over by someone else, both in body and in mind. There's also a good chance that the Lunarians are involved in the incident as well, considering that the occult balls have been made by Sagame, who is of course a Lunarian. Though Raisin mentions in her extra stage that this new incident with the occult balls doesn't sound like anything that Sagame has spoken about. There is probably still more info to be found in Raisin's story and ending, but for now this is all we know. So there's pretty much no doubt about it that it's gonna be a new fighter that will use the same mechanics as the last two fighters. But because of this whole body swapping and possession thing going on, many speculate that this game will have tag teams. I guess like Imperishable Night did, where you can switch between characters during the fight. There's a 99% chance that everyone who was in Touhou 14.5 will return as a playable character in 15.5, and we will probably see some additional characters added. A lot of people are already speculating about new characters. I don't want to say too much about that, as it would just be pointless guessing right now, though there is something interesting being said on the webpage of the site. The strongest duo have joined forces. Something bad may be in store for us humans. An opponent impossible to defeat by anybody alone? Ludicrous rumors are circulating, seemingly out of the fear in human villagers' hearts. This part reminded me a lot of the Watatsuki sisters, who are considered the most powerful duo in Touhou, and also very disliking of anything they redeem impure, which includes anything that can die, like humans. Though I do doubt that the Watatsuki sisters will be playable characters, as Zune has said many times that the Watatsuki sisters are really powerful, and I guess that Zune also feels like he won't be able to represent that power in a game and make it seem logical. Now, the last thing I want to mention is the rumor that the new game will be PS4 exclusive, because of the extra stage and Raisin in Urban Legend and Limbo being PS4 exclusive. I do not think Touhou 15.5 will be PS4 only. It would be a very strange decision, considering every Touhou game after Mystic Square has been released on PC, and on no other platform except Touhou 14.5. And because of this, most of the Touhou fanbase probably does not have a PS4, and it would be weird to make a game that only a small portion of your fans will play. So I think that concludes it for now. Thanks a lot for watching and listening to me. This is the first time I've made this kind of video. If you have any suggestions or tips for these kinds of videos, I would highly appreciate it if you could write those down in the comment section. And of course, like the video if you enjoyed it, or if I made this whole Touhou new game hype a bit more clear for you. Also, I have some great Lunatic Perfect 1cc's that feature a small guide in the annotations, in case you're stuck on the games on Lunatic or just want to see some impressive dodging. I am also more active on Twitch than on YouTube, so feel free to catch my streams and see some live Touhou gameplay. Thanks for being here, and I would like to see you another time.